And we are live. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Mystery Monday. Alright. So, I'm very excited because we're starting Nancy Drew, Danger on Deception Island. I love Danger on Deception Island. This is my jam. It's my aesthetic. What is it with people who've seen Hallmark have asked this before, but what is it with women and picturesque coastal towns? I don't know. I love them, but I still don't know what the reasoning is. But
welcome to my latest case, Danger on Deception Island. To learn how to play, choose Gameplay Overview. When you're ready to start the game, choose either Junior or Senior Detective.
interesting. You can kind of tell that she's trying to, like, pitch her voice a little younger than she did in some of the earlier games. I find that very intriguing. Alright. And I'm gonna do Junior Detective because I want my friends on my task list. Let's start a new game. I did already adjust the volume controls and everything, so hopefully all of that's working. Guess here we go.
Dear Ned, here I am on a ferry bound for Deception Island, one of the San Juan Islands off the coast of Washington State. George's friend, Katie Firestone, is expecting me. Katie's a marine biologist who's doing research into deep water parasitic growth. She also owns a whale watching boat and takes tours out practically every day. I should be excited, but for some reason I feel on edge, like something's out of whack. Maybe it's because George and Beth arranged this little vacation for me, and sometimes their plans don't work out so well. Or maybe it's because we're about to dock at a place called Snake Horse Harbor. Kind of a creepy name for a town, don't you think? Or maybe it's because I haven't been on vacation for so long that I've forgotten how to relax. Anyway, we're here. It's not raining, but it's not sunny either. It's just kind of gray. Maybe that's why I feel so strange. Ever yours, Nancy.
How's the audio? Is the game audio loud enough? Ooh,
Katie?
cutscene.
Hi, you must be Nancy. I'm Katie Firestone. Come on, I'll take you down to the boat.
Excellent.
Great timing, huh? I just got back from getting some groceries. George could not have picked a better time to arrange for you to come out here. Just last week, this orca showed up in the channel, and now it... Oh my gosh, what happened? Someone tore the place apart. The engine's a mess, parts are missing, others are damaged. Why would somebody do this?
Hey Pip, welcome, welcome. Good to see ya. Pip says, I literally just played this, but I'm definitely down to watch again. Nick says it's a whaley good one. Oh my gosh. But it just has such good vibes. The aesthetic is on point. Damage was this.
Do you have any idea who did this?
No. Look, you're on vacation. Just go relax. Or bike into town, or take my kayak out. It's at the end of the dock. Just always wear your life jacket. And don't go past the channel markers. And if the fog starts coming in, head to shore fast. The fog we get around here is as thick as cotton. And never go out without a GPS. That's a global positioning system. Mine's somewhere around here. Anyway, your bunk's the empty one below. Why don't you go unpack? Need any help?
Nope, I'm all unpacked.
Pip says I forgot how good the music was until I played it. Seriously. Definitely one of the best for music, possibly the best. Ooh. Hey, we put that together. Cool. I always wanted that green horse shirt. The official merch store has a green horse shirt, but it's not actually the same one. Nice little Easter eggs. That actually looks like it would be a pretty cozy little nook to sleep in. I love a good nook.
Wonder what's in here.
A really big block of ice, Nancy. Maybe it has feet in it. Alright, let's get snooping. Okay. Lovely. How's everybody doing? Pip says, I remember my sisters and I always made fun of her mom jeans in her suitcase. Oh man, and now mom jeans are in style
looks like
again.
Whoever damaged your engine did something to your faucet too.
It'd be great if you could fix it. The pipes are in the cabinet under the sink.
I love mom jeans.
At least the person who messed up the faucet left all the pipes here. I hope.
Okay, pipe puzzle. Nope.
That looks right.
Okay. Yep. I'm doing okay. I have been binge playing House Flipper now that I finally have my computer back.
That doesn't go there.
Thanks, Nance. Ah.
That doesn't go there.
And this is how I know it's been a while since I played this one, because at one point I did have this puzzle memorized. That's kind of sad. It says I'm okay, still recovering, but I had a good weekend. Lots of Baldur's Gate 3. Nice!
That doesn't go there.
Said I've been just doing so much
go
House
there.
Flipper. So can relate.
That looks right.
Luke still working on Zelda. Ready to beat the boss again now that I have all the memories. Roy says, I have 56 degrees and wondering what it's going to be on December 6th, my birthday. And Pip says the way that doesn't go there, audio cuts out, drives me insane. Oh gosh, the that doesn't go there is the reason that I at one point memorized the puzzle, so that I wouldn't have to listen to that. Trumpet says she's back! I am! And it's so good to be back.
The pipe's all fixed. I'll turn the water back on. There was something under the pipes.
Pip in... There's that puzzle in Treasure in the Royal Tower where you have to slide the bars and they go scrape clunk, and that's the puzzle that has the worst audio for me. That doesn't go there as annoying, but the scrape clunk is the worst. Yeah, it is so good to be back. Yeah, hello Trumpet, hello Roy, welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's not too bad yet for December. Okay, wait, we found the business card for Andy Jason at Whale World. I think I have a Whale World pin. The corner store. Oh, does water turn on now? It does! Oh, that's satisfying. Okay. Oh, and we can make sandwiches. Possibly toxic ones. You have to avoid the ingredients that are spoiled. some of them are very obvious, others I was never quite sure about. So let's go out. Appetizing. I always make the nicest sandwiches I can. I like cooking too much. Eat the sandwich. No, I've killed her with sandwiches a couple times. Town meeting to discuss Orca, Thursday the 16th at Swenson Hall. Oh, interesting. Be heard, be there. Benjamin Hawkins. Washboat. Okay, town meeting to discuss Orca, and then we arrive the next day. And Katie has an Uncle Bob. Oh, nice.
Ah, my trusty laptop. Good thing I recharged my batteries.
Says Nancy Drew when sandwiches can kill. It can if you put rotten mayonnaise on it. Okay. GPS. Call Bess and George. Ah. There we go. Spam filter that prevents us from sending any mail. Okay. Then we've got our Deception Island website.
Sea caves?
Ooh.
They might be fun to explore.
The only thing on the map. Alright. So... Whale World does whale watching tours. Alright. Burglaries plague Snake Horse Harbor. Trumpet says Nancy Drew, solver of crimes, catcher of criminals, killed by mayonnaise. Yep. Luke says, so it should be called Danger on to Sandwich Island. But tis. Pip says, I love the old technology in these. Same. It gives me so much nostalgia. Roy says, can you say salmonella? I'm never quite sure. That's a weird one to pronounce. I've heard it both ways, and I have no idea which one is right and which one is wrong. But a very clunky salmonella is funnier, so I just go with that. Oof. Probably not, but it's funnier that way. Okay. Burglary with no broken windows, no jimmied locks, no splintered doors, nothing to indicate the place had been broken into. That was at an outfitter. Last week it also happened at a hardware store. Oh, then we've got the Orca. National Marine Fisheries Service ruled last night that any unauthorized boat that comes within 300 feet of the lone Orca that has taken up residence in Snake Horse Harbor will be fined $1,000. People in the fishing industry who are at the town meeting when the announcement was made were outraged. They claimed that the Orca often approaches boats on its own, and that the only way to avoid accidental encounters is to make a costly detour around the island. Fisheries Service said their ruling will remain in effect until the Orca's physical condition has been thoroughly assessed. The whale is healthy, and if the pod to which it belongs can be identified, the service will attempt to rejoin it with its pod. If the whale is not healthy, it will be transported to a research facility. So far, efforts to identify the Orca and its pod have failed. So, Holt Scotto is running for harbor master. He's been a fisherman for 38 years. That's a long time to be out there fishing. Okay.
Cool. If I have to do research on anything, I can use this.
Anything that's at the generator. Okay. And sea caves. Alright. Erosion, blah blah. And okay, good for kayaking, but always wear your helmet. Alright. Get back to snooping. There's a no smoking sign on her boat. Okay, got my...
Apparently our saboteur took all the books out of the drawer up here. Must have been looking for something. Want me to put them away?
If you could put them back in the drawer for me, that would be awesome.
Oh, classic Nancy Drew puzzle. Here we go.
Okay, what's the best way to get all these in here with no space left over?
Well, start with this one. It's as good as any. Thoughts. These are the same height. Slightly shorter. Oh. Right. See. Sometimes I can solve it really fast, sometimes it takes me forever. You know, I think what I'm gonna do here get kind of weird with my strategy. Let's try arranging by height. Okay. So... Pip says, I solved this so much faster than I thought, and I was like too proud of myself. Had to be like, calm down, Rach, this puzzle is made for children. It is not. Solving any puzzle takes an effort of will and intellect. It's still an accomplishment. If it's not, I'm in big trouble. Okay, so those fit together. So, this one here, this one here, then it's there. But what about? And then I find myself making Nancy noises. There we go. And if you're playing it while sick, you get bonus points. So. Watch your step.
Uh-oh. Katie's GPS doesn't look so hot. I better tell Katie her GPS is broken.
Just a little
This
bit.
note wasn't here before, was it?
No, whoever messed up my boat must have written it.
Oh my gosh, you can honk the horn. Alright.
You know, Nancy, for what it's worth, I shot my mouth off pretty good at the town meeting last night.
What do you mean?
This orca, this killer whale, showed up in the channel about a week ago and has been hanging around here ever since all by itself. She was getting way too close to boats, so I called the National Marines Fisheries Service. They made some recordings and did some tests and are analyzing them. In the meantime, they ordered all boats to stay at least 300 feet away from her or risk paying a $1,000 fine. That's what the meeting last night was about.
Asks, how are you liking Hogwarts Legacy, by the way? I still have not gone back to it. I played up through the sorting ceremony, so I got in my house, and then I haven't done anything else yet. So I've mostly just done cutscenes and little bits of tutorial. So that I was so excited to get my computer back that I've just been completely immersed in House Flipper and needed to get some of that out of my system so that I could get back to Hogwarts Legacy and any games other than House Flipper. Like, I was feeling so deprived.
Some people don't like that idea?
The people that fish for a living sure don't. They're steering clear of the whale by taking the long way around the island to get out to sea, which costs them time and fuel. Some people say she should be captured and towed out to sea.
And what do you say?
I agree with the no-boat zone. I also think that if she's found to be sick, she should be shipped to a research facility for treatment, not returned to her pod. I said as much last night, only much more strongly.
Trumpet says you might be a little addicted to House Flipper if you were feeling withdrawals. I had an idea and I couldn't enact it. I needed to decorate. Yeah, I've just been so excited to have my games back and be able to game again. It was a rough week.
Do you want me to call the sheriff for you?
Actually, I'd rather not get the sheriff involved. The insurance company would raise my rates and I just can't afford that. Besides, I've got my very own private detective now. You.
That doesn't sound sketchy at all, but okay. What else had I been thinking? Yeah, I do want to play some more Hogwarts Legacy here soon. Just that I really needed to get that House Flipper hit. Which today I did finish the bit of garden that I had left to do on the Message in a Haunted Mansion house. I got my screenshots, I recorded my little final walkthrough, sold the house, scored really high in the gardening competition, so it increased the value by 45%. And I went from having 70K to having 600K, so I can now actually afford to buy some more houses and experiment on them, and I'm really excited about that.
I'm afraid whoever tore up your boat also wrecked your GPS device.
Oh no. It'd be a shame for you not to go kayaking. I know.
Seriously.
Bike to the Hot Kettle Cafe and see if Holt Scotto will let you borrow a GPS from him.
Okay. Holt Scotto. What kind of a name is Holt? Is that short for something? What kind of name is it?
Who's Andy Jason?
Andy does whale watching tours too. If I had $1 for every time he's come here trying to talk me into selling out to him, I wouldn't be fixing this engine. I'd be buying a new one.
See you in a bit.
Enjoy.
It says, yeah, Katie, make the 17-year-old on vacation do the job a police officer should do. Absolutely. Putting teenagers in charge of things they're not qualified for is just a very, very common occurrence. Ooh.
Piece of paper inside. Maybe it's a message.
And this is one of the reasons that this game ranks so high for me. You can find messages in bottles.
That's odd.
It's like, what's better than finding messages in bottles? Also, everything's all foggy and gloomy and Pacific Northwest-y. Right. Bike 2, Hot Kettle Cafe. Luke says, "Holt my beer." You are just on fire with the puns tonight. Right. Again with those very orange wood floors. Very of its era. Great music, though. Ooh. Atlantic herring. Hey Jenna, it was good to visit you last month. Boy, do I miss that clam chowder. Oh, and you too. Love, Kim. P.S. Can you send me the recipe? That sounds like how my friends and I contact each other. Like, hey, miss you. What was that recipe? Hey, Chiv. Welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh, it is so good to be back. Luke asks ghost patrons. Wait, I'll show you. So, interesting style. And yes, I'm looking at all the style stuff again. Alright. Reserved for the Shh Club annual party. So, we're not allowed in. They have a party room. And they're even louder than our writing group. We take over the party room at the local IHOP, and things get very chaotic.
A book on sea monsters. Very cool.
Luke says, I guess you could say they're keeping it hush-hush. You are really on a roll. Hallucination, welcome, welcome. I really need to figure out the holder command thing. Okay, Sea Monsters of North America, which sounds like a book that I would own. I don't have that one. Lots of people doing the lurkin' work. Poop says Luke is just living in his own pun world right now. Yes, yes he is. Luckily for him, I think it's cute. Hey Chiller, welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing today? It's been like so long since I've gotten to talk to most of you. Let's see. Ooh, among the most notable lake monsters are Champ, the creature said to inhabit Lake Champlain, 110-mile-long lake which borders New York and Vermont. Bessie is said to frequent the western waters of Lake Erie. I think it was only the west. One of the Great Lakes, while Ogopogo allegedly cruises Okanagan Lake, a body of water about 80 miles long in southern British Columbia. Those sound fun. Ah, again, everyone's doing the lurkin' work. Residents of the Pacific Northwest who live near or spend time on the water occasionally report seeing caddy, short for Cadborosaurus. This monster prefers the sea and has been spotted at various times along the coasts of Oregon and Washington and around Vancouver Island and the Queen Charlotte Islands off the coast of British Columbia. Little sketch, November 29th, 1983. Ah, we just missed it. Could have had the anniversary of the caddy sketch. What's immediately striking about the descriptions of this fearsome foursome is how similar they are. Like, well, I feel like there's only so many ways that a giant sea monster can look. Maybe like 4 variations that you normally see. Anyway, all are described as having long necks and heads that resemble that of a horse or camel, said to be snake-like, with bodies 1 to 2 feet in diameter, anywhere from 12 to 80 feet long. I would not want to see something that is 1 foot in diameter and 80 feet long. I will go on the record right now as I would not want to see something with those dimensions. That sounds very wrong. Alright, sometimes moving through the water in straight log-like fashion, at other times moving as a series of undulating humps. They are dark-colored, usually green, brown, or black. Some witnesses report seeing flippers and tails that are fluked and horizontal, as opposed to vertical like most fish, so more like a whale? Though they are occasionally blamed for boating and swimming mishaps, these creatures have been seen eating fish, seals, and seabirds, but never people. Of course you don't see them eating people. If they eat the people, then there's no one left to give witness reports. He says, feed Nessie sandwiches till she's nice and round. Some cryptozoologists theorize that caddy, champ, bessie, and ogopogo are throwbacks to prehistoric times and are a type of plesiosaur that lives and breeds in underwater crevices and caves. Others say they are more likely to be descendants of the Basilosaurus, a serpent-like primitive whale that was 45 to 70 feet long. Debunkers say that what witnesses claim to have seen were nothing more than strange wave formations or bobbing logs or sturgeon, truly monstrous-looking fish that spend their lives in both fresh and salt water and can grow to be more than 20 feet long. Alright, I want to see one. I want to see the... I want to see the fish that's over 20 feet long. Trumpet says this game suddenly turned into Myst. So much reading. I know, I at least have to skim it. I do really like it when games give me stuff to read though, and I always feel like I should read all of it because somebody put the work in to write it. None of these sea monsters has ever been captured, let alone photographed or videotaped to the satisfaction of skeptics. Here's a question. Can anything be photographed or videotaped to the satisfaction of skeptics? I would like to hold up as an example flat earthers. Just saying. If you're really dedicated to being skeptical, no amount of photography is going to change that. Alright. Sea monster carcasses found on shore usually turn out to be basking sharks. But over 30 feet long. When it dies and decomposes, the massive gill structure with which it fed drops away, leaving nothing but the small upper portion of its head and its long backbone. It's an interesting point, Roy. There's people who will believe pictures of UFOs and people who won't believe pictures of the actual planet. Whether someone believes in something or not doesn't seem to have much to do with what evidence there is for it. Oh wait, I have to read that last bit. Hang on. Someday someone will prove or disprove once and for all the existence of sea monsters in North America. With a lot of curiosity, dedication, and luck, that someone could even be you. I wouldn't mind going on vacation here.
Each flag stands for a letter of the alphabet, and so do those words. Interesting.
Luke says, let's do it. We could get a kayak and go Nessie hunting. I would totally be up for that. Alright. This one I know. This one not so much. Well, it says I've seen pictures of Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, and Yetis. I have medieval woodcuts of werewolves that are supposed to have been from eyewitness accounts. Ooh, here's a cool one. So, if I'm remembering all of this history correctly, there was a guy in Japan many a year ago who was sort of like the Japanese equivalent of Audubon. Like, he was the nature painter. Painted all of the plants and critters and stuff, and so everyone knew if he illustrated something, it was fully accurate, eyewitness. He only worked from life. And one night he woke up in the middle of the night and saw a ghost at the foot of his bed. And so he drew the ghost, and like all depictions of Yurai since then have been based on that illustration, because that became the definitive ghost, since he recorded it and he only draws what's real. Let's see. Oh wow, they have Italian soda. That's nice. And they have hot chocolate. Wow. Luke, their Americano's less than $2. World famous clam chowder. $3 for a cup or $5.50 for a bowl. Luke says I'll take a grande. Owns 210. Man. Homemade muffins and scones, $1.50. Could you imagine getting the little baked goodie for $1.50 at a coffee shop now? Just saying. More nostalgia. Mm-hmm. It's good and bad things to time traveling. Oh, they have a teapot collection. Oh, how cute. Pip says, wow, I missed that. Right? Like, I swear that treating myself didn't used to require such careful budgeting. You know? Alright, let's talk to Holt.
Well, looks like Snake Horse Harbor's got itself a newcomer.
Roy says I'm going to jump in my DeLorean, go back 14 billion years and step on a butterfly. Do you believe that butterflies existed 14 billion years ago?
I'm visiting Katie Firestone. My name's Nancy Drew.
Well, now, why would you want to do a thing like that?
Luke says you'll come back and we'll all be butterfly people and you'll be the only human. Also, can I just say, I love his sweater. I love a good fisherman's sweater. I really need to learn how to knit.
Call myself Nancy Drew? Or visit Katie Firestone?
Well, you're not one of them save the whale and heck with everybody else crusader types like she is, are you?
I'm just here on vacation. Like, he's being awfully grumpy to the teenager.
I'm just here on vacation.
Her true colors came out real clear last night. Us fishermen don't count. All that matters is rescuing that poor, precious orca out there. To heck with people trying to make a living. Of course, is the way she makes her living being hurt by that whale? Why, no. Her business is booming. Now, ain't that the oddest thing?
All right, I have a theory now. See, they had that meeting last night. Sounds like it went pretty late. And he was obviously very ticked off at that meeting. Very worked up. And this morning, he's quite grumpy and is just slumped over the counter nursing a cup of coffee. I have a theory about what happened in between that might explain why he is so very grumpy. But he is running for office. For harbor master, and I'd hate to slander a politician. Trumpet says potato juice? Oh yeah.
Her boat was ransacked this morning.
She ticked off a lot of people last night. That's what she gets for being so meddlesome. Anyway, welcome to Snake Horse Harbor, home of Cadborosaurus. That's how this place got its name, you know.
Roy says he's got more than coffee in his coffee cup. Just a little hair of the dog. Also, he said she was meddlesome. The note said to stop meddling.
Really?
Well, that's the sea monster Native Americans used to see out in the channel ever so often. Called it the snake horse. Had the head of a horse and the body of a giant snake. People on Vancouver Island started calling it Cadborosaurus after it or one of its relatives was seen a couple of times in Cadboro Bay. They call it caddy for short.
Okay, Luke, are you feeling a little punchy this evening? Roy says I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling teenagers. Alright. So I really hate snakes. I really hate snakes. And I'm trying to decide if a snake having the head of a horse would make it better or worse. I could ask Benjamin to feed it to the AI, but I might really regret that.
Is it a friendly sea monster?
Back in the late 1800s, he took the rap for a lot of hoodoo around here. Fog would roll in at night, and men would just vanish. It was the snake horse, people would say. Little did they know.
Roy asks, has Luke had too much coffee or not enough? And Luke says that you could bribe it with apples. There is that point. Luke says probably not enough. Fire up the kettle.
Why do you think they vanished?
Well, they'd been shanghaied. See, a bunch of establishments in town had secret panels built right into the walls. Guy'd be having a drink one minute, and next minute he'd be clobbered over the head, whisked into a secret passageway, and taken out to a ship waiting in the harbor. He'd wake up on the high seas and discover that if he wanted to survive, he'd better do what the captain ordered. No matter what he was before, he was now a sailor. It was a cheap way for captains to get crews back then, and an easy way for some of the town's citizens to make money.
Hey, see, Shanghaiing though means Shanghai tunnels. Like, messages in bottles, Shanghai tunnels, fog, sea monsters. Do you see why this game ranks so high with me?
Did you say you were a fisherman?
4th generation. I fished every ocean for just about every fish you can make money fishing for. Lived here for the last 11 years.
Are you retired?
Fishermen never retire, young lady. After all, what would we do? Go fishing? Only reason I'm not out there right now is because I've been in and out of campaign meetings since 8 this morning.
Hey, Chiller. We are currently questioning a grumpy old man with a very nice sweater. And let's see, the town has a history of Shanghaiing and also a local sea monster. So we are having a lovely time.
You're running for office?
I think it's high time people around here started doing what makes sense, instead of doing what's politically correct all the time. Harbor Master we got now bends over backwards so far for the environmentalists, it's a wonder he can still walk upright.
Whoever trashed Katie's boat also ruined her GPS.
Oh, now that's a shame.
Thing is, I'd like to go kayaking while I'm here. Only I can't without a GPS.
Oh, now that really is a shame. Tell you what, I got a spare right here in my duffel. You know what else I got in my duffel?
I love how you could hear that switch from sarcasm to sympathy. Like, yeah, he's a grumpy old man, but he's still soft underneath. He's not all gruff. Luke says they call it running for office, but I've never seen anyone race. You are really going for it tonight. All the puns, all the dad jokes.
I have no idea.
This is a little seamanship quiz I whipped up. I'm thinking about making people pass it before they're allowed to rent any kind of watercraft once I become harbor master. Here.
Okay, seamanship quiz.
The idea is to cut down on having to rescue people who got no business being out on the water in the first place. Trouble is, nobody's actually taken it yet. I need a guinea pig.
You know, it doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. Like, I've seen an awful lot of people just hiking who are a danger to themselves and others, and should probably not be hiking.
You mean, if I take the quiz, you'll let me borrow the GPS?
If you pass the quiz, the GPS is yours. You'll need that container for the last question.
Luke says never tell a woman she looks like a guinea pig. It's good life advice.
See you around.
Yo ho ho.
Luke, are you having a nice time?
What can I get for you, Nancy?
Well, for starters, you could tell me your name.
Jenna Devlin. Sorry. My aunt didn't warn me when she left me this place that I'd be inheriting her knack for eavesdropping, too.
I love her shirt. I want that shirt so bad. They do sell a shirt that's somewhat similar. Like, it has that design on it, but it doesn't have that, like, kind of marbled tie-dye thing going on.
How long ago was that?
Aunt Iris left it to me 3 years ago. It's been in the Devlin family since the day it was built, which was back in, like, 1866 or something. So, you're visiting Katie Firestone. My condolences.
What do you mean?
Me and her don't see eye to eye on a couple of things.
You mean, like the whale?
That orca out there should be rejoined with her pod as soon as possible. Period. End of story. No matter what Miss Fancy Schmancy's science degree says. Other people may be bamboozled by all her talk of data charts and field tests and monitoring whatnots, but not me. The only thing she wants is to get that whale into an aquarium. It wouldn't surprise me if Katie's been secretly feeding it. Which is against the law, by the way. And you know what else? It wouldn't surprise me if she trashed her own boat, because she knew that after that meeting last night, everybody would assume that Holt did it and not want to vote for him. I got an idea. Let's change the subject.
I mean, not a bad idea. Alright, so let's see.
Does Andy Jason ever come in here?
Everybody comes in here. Know how some people can't go a day without coffee? People around here can't go a day without a bowl of my clam chowder. In fact, if you ever want a free sample, just say the word.
That's a lot of clams. I don't think I could eat that many clams. no matter how good the chowder was.
So, Andy Jason is one of your regulars?
Actually, he only comes in once or twice a week. Says he's too busy. Of course, the reason he's so busy is because he's too cheap to hire another person to help him run the place. Kinda surprised me when I heard he was trying to buy Katie Firestone out. Must have something up his sleeves, all I can figure.
Instead of the chowder, do you think I could try one of those muffins?
Coming right up. Next one will be on the house, too.
Haha. She will feed you on the house for the whole game. Now, she offers you the clam chowder. If you take the clam chowder, then you can keep getting clam chowder for the whole game. But if you ask for the muffin instead, then you can get the muffin or the clam chowder through the whole game. If you ask for the clam chowder first, then you don't get another shot at the muffin. Like, I'm not turning down a blueberry muffin.
That was delicious.
Here, let me get rid of that for you.
Let's try the clam chowder too.
Think I could try a bowl of your clam chowder?
Coming right up. Next one will be on the house, too.
Oh, that does look nice. It says especially infinite blueberry muffins. For real?
That was delicious.
Here, let me get rid of that for you.
Chowder did look really good.
What do you
Very
know about
creamy.
the Shanghaiing that used to go on around here?
It never went on, that's what I know. Shoving grown men into passageways and carting them off to ships never to be seen again? It's just a big, colorful, tall tale. Never happened.
It's an awful lot of tunnels in an awful lot of places for it to have never happened.
It's been fun talking to you.
Ain't that the truth?
You know what? The whole fight about the whale and everybody's different opinions on it and how passionate they all are about it, I think that might actually be one of the reasons that I like this particular game so much. Because again, grew up in small town, kind of tourist trappy small town, and it just feels very authentic. Chiller says infinite muffins sounds amazing. See, now I want to make muffins. Like, I've been wanting to make some kind of baked good, and now I'm wanting to make muffins. Let's go to the lighthouse first. Luke says, I won't stop you. If you're going to stop me from making a baked good, we would need to have a conversation. Okay, sun always sets in the west.
That looks right.
Left side of the boat is its port side.
Yes.
And the rest is in east. Okay. We can do the whole translation for the Morse code. Also, I have it memorized. Luke says I'll get down the muffin pan. Okay. Bring me a male dungeon scribe. Okay. The female is the wider abdomen.
Yuck. I'm not picking them up.
Okay, I love this location other than the dead fish. Oh. Did the female have the wider abdomen, right?
These would be great for rock skipping. I already have some rocks.
I just love this location so much. The rocks, the water. It's got such good vibes. All right. Hope you enjoy your dinner, Pip. Okay. All right, I hope I got that right. Ooh, we found lumber.
SS. Maybe this broke off from a ship.
We've gone to the beach, but we haven't gone to a rocky coast yet.
There's something in that bottle, but it's stuck on those rocks.
All right. Let's see if we can figure this out. Plunk. Ooh! Haha! Second try! The only problem is I would like to keep skipping rocks. I don't need to skip them at anything. I just want to keep skipping rocks. And it doesn't let you do it anymore. But we found our second message in a bottle. She's so pretty. And there's the old lighthouse. No trespassing. We'll walk right past that sign. Bing, bing. Oh.
What do you think you're doing?
You got here fast.
Those signs over there say no trespassing, which means keep out, which means you, girly.
Girly?
Leave.
But I just...
Now.
Alright, have a good evening, Lociation. Glad you could drop in. Roy's excuse for the no trespassing sign is I can't read. Jared, 17, never learned how to read. Luke says that's how you really play dumb. Rolled a nat 1 on the intelligence check. Right.
You again?
I'm sorry for trespassing like that.
So what do you want?
See, I'm sorry for trespassing in a way that got me caught.
I've got a male crab, I think.
Let's have a look. Right as rain. Just ace the rest of the quiz and you'll be home free. I'll take care of the crab for you.
Oh, he's got his dinner set for tonight.
See you around.
Yo ho ho.
Yo ho ho. That would be a hilarious ringtone. Just saying. Get a text message. Yo ho ho. I love all the stained glass everywhere in this town too. Luke says maybe they'll be buddies. Cut to the old man and the crab watching TV, playing video games. Make a redeem of yo ho ho. Oh my gosh. I'm writing that down. Make yo ho ho. There, now I have a Pecky puzzle to figure out over the week. Fun shirts. Like a little aquarium thing. Snap together caddy model. Right. Okay. Extra check and hydrate. Cheers. Getting through that bottle pretty quickly. If I need a second bottle for the stream, I will consider it a success. I love the little orca models.
Wow, that's a beauty.
Ship in a bottle. Hang on. We needed the current fine, so 138.43.
Perfect.
Okay. We could buy a clamming permit.
Hi there. Welcome. What can I do you for?
Nice flannel.
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm visiting Katie Firestone.
Nice to meet you, Nancy. Any friend of Katie's is a friend of mine.
Hey, Boomer. Welcome, welcome. How are you today? Luke says I could cosplay as him. Oh, gosh.
So you consider yourself to be a friend of Katie's?
I like to think we're friends, or that we could be friends if she'd just be reasonable.
That sounds like something a stalker would say. We could be friends if she'd just be reasonable.
Maybe she just likes being in business for herself.
I'm offering her the deal of a lifetime. She'd make more money, she'd have more free time. I mean, look at this place. I run a first-class operation. It's my mission to see that everyone who comes to Snake Horse Harbor leaves with a greater appreciation for marine mammals. And if I make a buck in the process, that's cool too.
Why do you want to buy Katie out? She can't be taking that many customers away from you.
I don't like her taking any customers away from me. And frankly, with this whale doing its orphan thing out there, I'm losing a lot of customers to her.
Boomer says, I didn't get much done today IRL, but boy oh boy did I ever make progress in computer games. Same! I started a load of laundry. I still need to switch it over. I did put the previous load away, which is fairly impressive for me. Oh wait, except for the socks. The socks are still sitting there. Whoops. However, in House Flipper, I sold a house and made like almost 400,000 in profit. So I'm taking the win.
Why is that?
Katie convinced the fisheries service that she should be allowed to monitor the orca's condition, which means she can get right up next to the whale while my boat has to stay away.
Katie takes passengers with her when she checks on the whale?
Paying passengers, as many as she can safely fit.
What do you think should be done with the orca out there?
Nothing. I think people should just leave it alone. I mean, why do we humans always think we know best? We can barely deal with ourselves, let alone a whole other species.
Is that the same voice actor that was Elliot in Haunted Carousel? I know they use a lot of the same voice actors over and over.
Someone ransacked Katie's boat while she was in town this morning. Made a real mess.
Wonder if it's related to those burglaries.
What burglaries?
A bunch of stuff was stolen from 2 shops earlier this week. Food, tools, clothing, electronics. There was no sign of forced entry, no trace of who did it. Sheriff's still scratching his head.
Boomer says, I'm playing Polya way too much. Last night I dreamed that tomorrow's update to 0.174 increased max available storage from 10K to 12K. Oh man, you're in too deep.
Whoever ransacked Katie's boat tore a bunch of parts out of her engine. It's like they wanted to make sure she couldn't go anywhere for a while.
That's too bad.
Do you have any idea who would have done something like that?
Jenna Deblin. Runs the Hot Kettle Cafe. She was seething at the meeting last night. She doesn't think Katie should be allowed anywhere near that whale.
Has she ever done anything violent like that before?
I was in the kettle once when this guy tried to sneak out without paying. Jenna was so mad and grabbed him so hard that he was the one who yelled for help.
Okay.
That boat in a bottle you have is fascinating.
It was made by one of the first non-Native Americans to settle here, a guy named Benjamin Hawkins. I bought it from this lady who kinda went bonkers after her husband died.
Was Benjamin Hawkins a sailor?
This historian who was in here once said he was pretty sure that was a model of a pirate ship. So now I tell people Hawkins was a pirate, but like most of the settlers around here, He was probably just a farmer.
Luke says, ka-thunk, ka-thunk, there's Jenna under the bus. For real. Interesting. I think he's the only person who throws suspicion at Jenna. Like, there's plenty of evidence and dialogue and stuff to point to Andy or to point to Holt. But the only thing pointing to Jenna is Andy saying, oh, it was definitely Jenna. She's super suspicious.
Would you laugh if I told you I found some kind of message in a bottle?
Welcome to the club. Just about everybody around here has found one. Rumor has it our semi-resident nutcase, Hilda Swenson, is trying to tell us something.
Who's Hilda Swenson?
Go talk to Jenna over at the Hot Kettle. That lady hears all, sees all, and is usually real willing to tell all. She can tell you about those messages.
Sounds a lot like a cosmetologist.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
All right. Chiv says, this guy sure is comfy bad-mouthing people. Yeah, I noticed the same thing. Like, I mean, throwing her under the bus and also referring to Hilda as the resident nutcase who went bonkers after her husband died. And, you know, spoilers, but, like, later in the game, we do find out they knew each other. Like, he knew Hilda before she went bonkers. So he's playing the nice guy, his whole, oh, I just want to, like, help people learn about marine life, and who says humans have all the answers. Like, playing this really nice kind of beta type of persona. But he's kind of vicious. A little bit catty. Yep, agreed. Wonderful world of whales. Cool whale model. Big brains. Jiv says, my opinion is right and you're all bad if you disagree. Yes. I know a lot of people like that. And you have to add in that, and because I'm right, that makes me a good person and everything I do is good because I'm right. And since you're wrong, everything you do is bad. Okay. I think it's time for me to check my to-do list. I don't like that I have to travel to my to-do list. But we get there. Alright. Oh, so nice and foggy. You can even just glimpse the lighthouse from here. Chandler says these days we call that gaslighting. Good point. Alright. Let's... Oh. Alright. Oh no. Yeah, it's the numeral 4. Alright. And I do remember the knot. Okay. North Star is part of Little Dipper. Ursa Minor. Okay. Interesting. Chip says, just got my ears blown up by Mountain Dew. Loud ad. Oof. Yeah, I don't think that Mountain Dew particularly cares about your physical health. Two masts, right? Yeah. Okay. So, in Morse code, it says vote for
Correct.
Holt.
Am I smart or what?
Yeah. It says Mountain Dew, feel the flavor with your ears.
Very good.
That is a Fisherman's
Perfect.
Bend.
That should do it.
Boom. Alright. That should be everything. Let me check my to-do list. Ask Katie about the piece of driftwood, figure out the messages in the bottle. Oh yeah, call Bess and George. Boomer says the knot's name should be Dawn. You could use it for attacking people. The whole body's a weapon. Alright. Victory. Bess. Let's call Bess.
Hello?
Hey, Bess, it's me.
Hey, how's it going? Grab the phone. It's Nancy. While George picks up, I'm gonna turn down the heat under my roo.
Under your what?
Hey, Nance. So, how's your vacation going?
Great. I got here just in time to solve a mystery.
No mysteries, Nancy. You're supposed to be relaxing. Oh, give it up, George. She can't help it. So what's the deal with this one?
Somebody came aboard Katie's boat while she was out and tore the place up.
What?
Boomer says, or Chiller says that Boomer is a fan of Andy Griffith's show. Clever reference. I've watched a chunk of the Andy Griffith show. I don't think I'd call myself a fan. However, The Ghost and Mr. Chicken and The Shakiest Gun in the West. What's the other one? The Reluctant Astronaut. Those were like my childhood.
It might have something to do with this orphan killer whale that's causing a lot of controversy here.
Katie told us about the whale when we called to tell her you were on your way. Someone vandalized Katie's boat because of a whale?
Oh, The Incredible Mr. Limpet. Yes.
Because of Katie's opinion as to what to do with the whale, which she expressed very loudly in front of a lot of people last night.
Katie does have a mouth on her, especially when the subject is marine life. Did they find any fingerprints?
Katie wouldn't let me call the sheriff.
Why not?
From what I remember of The Incredible Mr. Limpet, it is like, it's entertaining, it's very quirky. It is very quirky. Like it's weird, but it's a fun kind of weird, mostly.
She said she was afraid her insurance company would raise her rates.
Well, she doesn't have much money, I can tell you that. Uh-oh, Bess, is that supposed to be smoking like that? Oh no! Darn it!
Darn what?
My roo, it's ruined. Oh no, she wrecked her roo. It's not funny, George. Yes, it is, Bess.
What's a roux?
A carefully heated mixture of flour and butter. I was going to use it to thicken my gumbo.
It is really easy to accidentally burn the roux.
Did you say gumbo?
Rock shrimp gumbo. It was Chef Sherwood's main dish last night.
She's hooked on this cooking show called Feasting for Fitness.
Let me guess, it's hosted by a guy, and he's very cute.
That happens to be true, but I watch it because I like his philosophy. Eat in moderation and eat only that which is made out of fresh ingredients and cooked with great skill, care, and judgment.
What else have you cooked?
Yesterday she cooked, or should I say ruined, crepes.
They weren't ruined. I mean, you could still eat parts of them. Anyway, I want to hear what you're doing, Nance.
I can't help but think it's a little weird that Katie didn't call the sheriff after her boat was vandalized.
You think she's trying to hide something?
I know she's your friend, George, but I just got the feeling she wasn't telling me everything.
Well, it's not like she's my best friend or anything, but what would she be hiding?
Maybe there's more to her interest in that orca than meets the eye.
So are you going to confront her?
I don't really have anything to confront her with.
Good, because as I recall, Katie doesn't do confrontation very well.
My gosh, George. Is there anything else Nancy should know about this so-called friend of yours?
Katie's fine. She just has a few edgy little quirks, that's all.
Great. That's probably what they said about Lizzie Borden.
Who did have a few edgy little quirks. Just saying.
Jenna Devlin went ballistic when I brought up the subject of Katie and the whale.
What's her problem?
She's convinced that Katie just wants to study the whale, not really help it.
Sounds like a candidate for your suspect list to me.
You know, Jenna Devlin may have her faults, but being a bad cook isn't one of them.
What kind of stuff does she cook?
She's famous for her clam chowder, which is outstanding.
Well, don't just stand there. Get me the recipe.
I'm pretty sure it's a family secret.
Does Jenna own the cafe or just run it?
She inherited it. The place has been in the Devlin family for centuries.
Whoa. Buildings that old are usually haunted, you know.
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, they are.
Yeah. If you're a good cook, you can get away with a lot. Boomer, unfortunately, I cannot remember enough of the lyrics from Accentuate the Positive. I'm guessing it's not quite it. But I can really only remember the chorus.
Holt Scotto caught me poking around the lighthouse and freaked. He all but chased me away with a stick.
Why should he care if you poke around the lighthouse?
Good question. The obvious answer is that he's hiding something.
One should always be suspicious of a suspect.
Right.
Chiller says, this is true, being a good cook, you can get away with murder. This is a very amusing way to phrase it, given how many female murderers are serial poisoners. Just saying.
I can't figure out if Andy Jason is friendly for real or if it's because he's basically a salesman.
What does he sell?
Whale watching tours. He keeps trying to talk Katie into selling her company to him and becoming his business partner.
Think he wrecked her boat so she'd have to go into business with him?
Chiller says that's why taste testers are a thing. Oh yeah.
Could be. Katie is allowed to get right up next to the orca while he has to stay 300 feet away. He doesn't like that.
I wouldn't trust him, Nan. Once a salesman, always a salesman.
Remember my neighbor, Ray Olaf? He was a salesman, but he quit.
Yeah, to go to work for a company that repossesses pets when people can't pay their vet bills.
She's right. Don't trust him.
You're gonna love this, Bess. I found a message in a bottle.
Oh, that is so romantic. What did it say?
Actually, I found a couple of bottles, and the messages are all the same. Just letters and numbers and the word rosebud.
That's not very romantic. Well, maybe the rosebud part is.
Well, it must mean something to somebody. Just keep your eyes open and keep asking questions, Nan. You'll figure it out.
I better get going.
Bess, do you smell something burning?
Shoot! Bye, Nance!
Gosh. Right, and ask Katie about the driftwood.
What's up?
I found this piece of wood on the beach. There's something strange about it.
What do you mean? Let's see it. Ouch, those splinters are sharp. That is odd. It looks like it's been in the water a long time, but if that were the case, those edges would be dull. That looks like it broke off of something just recently.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Any idea where it came from?
Could be off a cargo ship, I guess. But you know who you should ask? Casey Porterfield. He works at the Maritime Library in Port Townsend. You should give him a call. His number's 360-555-3095. He loves checking out stuff like this.
Chiller asks, is that a thing, vets repossessing pets when owners can't pay bills? I have no idea. I know that medical equipment, like wheelchairs and stuff, can be repossessed if people aren't paying their medical bills. But I don't know about pets.
Sounds like Holt Scotto was one of the people who didn't care for what you had to say last night.
He and I never see eye to eye. Now, if I were a fisherman, I'd be right as rain no matter what nonsense came out of my mouth. Fine harbor master he'd make.
Boomer says you can watch Accentuate the Positive. I've listened to Accentuate the Positive. It's just been a while. Great song.
I talked to Jenna Devlin when I was at the Hot Kettle.
What nasty rumor is she spreading about me today?
Do you two not like each other or something?
Cat
She
fight.
doesn't like me, that's for sure. She thinks I'm a know-it-all from the big city.
I mean, the shoe fits.
I saw a boat in a bottle at Andy Jason's place. He said it was made by a guy named Benjamin Hawkins.
As a matter of fact, I've done some research on Hawkins. He settled here in the mid-1800s, lived in a cabin where the lighthouse is now.
Ooh, interesting, interesting.
Why are you doing research on him?
Some of the things I heard about him got my curiosity going. For instance, he apparently had a major feud going with some sea captain. Hawkins would see the guy's sail on the horizon, grab his family and all his valuables, and go into hiding for days.
That sounds piratey.
What was the feud about?
Nobody knew. Rumor had it that the sea captain was an ex-pirate, which might explain why Hawkins hid. But where he hid is still a mystery.
See you in a bit.
Have fun!
Alright. Let me check the list again. Oh. Call Casey Porterfield about the driftwood, figure out the messages in the bottles, find out who trashed Katie's boat. Okay. Alright, so specifically look for the singing detective. Alright. I really like this graphic design. Like, that logo, colors, the shapes, it's just, it works just right for me. I would pick up a book with a design like that for the cover. Alright, so call Casey and give Holt that quiz. Also, I don't know if anyone can see this at all, but I have my Hot Kettle Cafe shirt. I'm a little too cold to show it off properly, but I am wearing my Hot Kettle Cafe shirt.
You again?
I finished that seamanship quiz.
Let's have a look. Right as rain. Congratulations. Here's your GPS. Just turn around and follow the instructions. I'll take care of the crab for you.
Great, thank you. See you
Right.
around.
Yo ho ho.
Yo ho ho.
Hi, Nancy. How's it going?
What can you tell me about Hilda Swenson?
She was this lady who retired here with her husband about 20 years ago. They made a ton of money in Hollywood as writer-producers and just wanted to enjoy life. Wonderful people. Very active. In fact, Hilda was mayor for 8 years. But then, out of the blue, her husband died. They'd been a team for so long that, well, she pretty much died then too.
What do you mean?
She just kind of lost it. Started talking to walls and doing bizarre things until one day she rode to the island across the channel that she and her husband owned and never came back.
I mean, if I was retired and suddenly, you know, alone and in mourning and happened to have a private island, I would also be going to the private island. This is what you have a private island for. Boomer says, my neighbor dropped by to borrow a large pot to cook soup in. Poor guy. I don't cook, I only microwave. I have 0 pots and pans. You don't cook? I legitimately can't imagine not cooking. Do you not like food?
And now she uses notes in bottles to communicate with people?
Trouble is, nobody can understand what she's trying to say. All she ever writes is letters and numbers and that one word, Rosebud. I leave a couple of bags of groceries outside her cabin every week, and sometimes I can see her inside. But whenever I try to talk to her, she won't answer.
Boomer says, I used to cook but don't enjoy anymore, so I stopped. Yeah, I'm worried about you.
Did she ever leave anything behind that might help decode her messages?
She left everything behind. Problem is, it's all been sold, given away, or thrown out. We'll never know what's going on in that mind of hers.
Chiller says, at Luke, in other words, Princess would lose it if you died, so stay alive. Luke says, I'm doing my best. A private island would also be a good, you know, backup plan. That way I have somewhere to go and be crazy. In privacy. Instead of everybody watching me go bonkers.
You know, your clam chowder really is awesome.
Say no more. Next one will be on the house, too.
That was delicious.
Here, let me get rid of that for you.
It's been fun talking to you.
Yeah, hasn't it, though?
Okay, hang on. So it says Rosebud. So... reach. Ha ha ha. Alright. I don't know, when people talk about things that they used to really love that just don't bring them joy anymore, I'm like, does that mean you're sad now? Okay. So, R O S E B U D. Okay. And then I'll color him in. Aw, hey Benjamin. Welcome, welcome. Time zones are hard, especially with daylight savings time and all that nonsense. How are you today? Boomer says I don't even like cooking in Stardew Valley and Palia. Oh, I've been thinking about getting Cooking Simulator. I don't cook enough in real life. Alright, so I need my yellow pencil and red pencil and a blue pencil. Is that all the colors? I think that's all the colors. Okay. Which sends out a notification. And we do post in the Discord, but we need to get better about doing at everyone. So, yeah. Slowly working on it. Alright, so yellow. That's very difficult to see, but okay. Right. And red. Oh. Also red and yellow. Yes. It's that little box. E. Blue and red. Why is B the only one that's a different shape? Why B? And then E. It says Discord won't let you post a GIF with a tag. We could start sharing the link to Twitch. Requires more jumping around. Okay. There. Okay, I've got my little flags. I always pull my colored pencils out for that one. Yeah, I really, really want daylight savings to end. I'm over it. One time I was in Arizona where they don't do daylight savings. Like when it hit, and oh my gosh, it was so nice. Okay, hydrated. I have like one sip left. All right. Then, so call Casey. Like, it probably made more sense when they came up with the idea, but we don't need daylight savings time now. We don't. Let us have the same time all the time and we'll figure it out. Especially since, like, everything is much more global.
Looks like
No.
whatever's in here is starting to defrost.
It just makes it so much harder to do stuff across time zones, and so much is now. Alright, check my list. Go exploring, call Casey Porterfield, figure out the messages in bottles. Okay. Alright, let's call Casey.
Maritime Library, this is Casey.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew. Katie Firestone suggested I give you a call.
Katie who?
Katie Firestone?
Never heard of her.
Oh.
I know a marine biologist named Katie Firestone.
Yes, that's her. I'm staying with her here in Snake Horse Harbor.
Oh, well then what can I do for you?
Alright, I'm trying to look up who the voice actors are. Alright,
She said you might be able to help me identify the ship that this piece of plywood I found on the beach came from.
How do you know it came from a ship?
Because it says SS on it. The rest of the name is missing.
Doesn't mean anything. Now if it said SS, which stands for steamship, that'd be different.
Actually, that is what it says.
Oh, well then it came from a ship. Or should I say, shipwreck. What kind of wood is it?
okay, the voice actor who's the voice of Casey Porterfield is also the one who is the voice of Andy Jason. So the Whale World guy is also this guy. Like, what? Wow, he's been some really weird random voices in these. Good grief. He's been in like so many of these. Oh, in Haunted Carousel, he was the voice of Miles the Magnificent Memory Machine. All right, then. Okay, what kind of wood is it?
I don't know. Old?
Sorry, for a second there, I thought you said old.
Actually, that is what I said.
You're about as much use as a beanie in a hurricane. Look, if you want me to tell you what shipwreck that wood came from, you're gonna have to tell me what kind of wood it is.
But I have no idea.
Well, you just get yourself a book on wood and figure it out. Maybe Katie has one. Soon as you do, call me back. I love checking out stuff like this.
Alrighty. I like him. What was that noise? Okay.
Complex morphological issues? Microscopic tracheid analysis? Microtome surfacing? Oh, I don't know if this book is for me, but maybe if I give Dr. Predovicu a call, she can help me out.
Alright. So. Alright. Do I want to use my secret knowledge of the game to make it more efficient? Yes. Alright, let's take a sample.
One slice of wood. One glass slide. There. This is gonna look so cool under the microscope.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Wow.
Okay. Alright, now we call.
This is Dr. Predovicu.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew, and I'd like some help identifying this piece of wood I found.
I'd be happy to assist. Do you have our mailing address?
Well, that's the problem. I don't have time to send it to you. Would it be possible to identify it over the phone?
Certainly. Just hold it up to the phone for a couple of seconds and I'll take a reading. I'm kidding, of course. I usually don't do this over the phone, but I'll give it a try. You will, however, need to take a look at your sample under a microscope.
I already did that.
And are you near the sample in case you need to refer back to it?
Yep, I'm right by it.
All right, we'll get started. Where did you find this wood?
It's a piece of driftwood, probably used for a crate.
Is the wood sample black, brown, or yellow?
Brownish.
Brown or brown reddish?
Brown reddish.
Does the sample have many holes, just a couple, or none at all?
Many.
And are there some holes that are big and some that are small, or are they all the same size?
They're all the same size.
Okay, and the holes are really, really tiny, right?
Okay. I hope I'm getting these right.
No, they're pretty sizable.
Then you've got a tropical hardwood. I was assuming the sample was a North American wood. All right. Are there any distinguishable horizontal lines on the sample?
Yes, there are horizontal lines.
If this wood is used for crating, then it's probably Luan. It's fairly common in plywood, but it's a rainforest timber, so it's declining in popularity.
Luan, all right. Thanks for your help.
Glad to have been of service.
Yes, got it. I've had plenty of times where it takes like 4 tries, so yeah. Alright, call Casey back.
Maritime Library, this is Casey.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew. I called before about the driftwood.
Never heard of you. Now, if you'd have said Nancy Drew...
Yes, that's me, Nancy Drew, Katie Firestone's friend.
So what kind of wood are we talking about here, Nancy?
Luan.
Well, if that driftwood did come from a cargo container that's part of a shipwreck, there's a good chance I can figure out which one. Call me back in an hour or so.
You can identify a ship by what its cargo containers are made out of?
Ever since the hobo spider got into the U.S. by laying eggs in the wood crating of ships coming from Europe, the feds have made sure that cargo ships keep real careful records. Of course, I'll be taking things like tides, currents, weather conditions, proximity to Snake Horse Harbor. I'll be taking all those factors into consideration, too.
I really appreciate your doing this for me, Casey.
And well, you should.
I like him. Also, we can go exploring now. Food up this. Know your place. Okay. So, let's see if we can find our way to the sea caves. Ooh. I think there's like a big old drop off there in the middle of the harbor. Aha! Sea caves. I would so love to go kayaking through sea caves. See, how cool is that? There's a waterfall in the cave. Ooh, bottle. Oh. Got like lights coming in. Beautiful. Boomer, were you doing your Duolingo lesson? Oops. I've been doing French, but I've slowed down a lot. Definitely having trouble keeping track of all the words at this point. And we haven't even gotten to numbers yet. I'm scared. Ooh, message in a bottle.
Maybe the messages are coordinates.
Alright, so hang on. We've got north 48. Oh. North 48. $42.517. Then we've got west 123. 08.615. Okay. Then make new. North 48, 42, 517, west 123, 08615. Ding ding. Great waypoint. Okay. Alright, all the way up that way. So...
I've never been to this beach before.
Yeah, because we found a hidden secret beach, Nancy. Like, cool rocks and driftwood and stuff. Like, really cool driftwood. And we can make sandcastles.
Stop to build a sandcastle. I could use a break.
Found a way to do home design. Again. Ta-da!
Time to go back to work.
Okay. Oh,
Oops, must be ticklish.
I'm gonna torture fish. Is there a number of times to click on it? It does anything. Oh! Hi, my name is Lumpy, and I was created by Kyle Jones and Donovan Larson. Ha! We got an Easter egg! Excellent. Okay, Rosebud. Okay.
I don't know what all those letters mean, but something tells me this may come in handy.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down. Port, starboard, starboard, port, port, starboard, 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 port, port, starboard, port, port. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So, Alpha, Sierra, Kilo. I do have it memorized, but I'm going through anyway. Alpha, Sierra, Kilo. Hotel, Sierra, Alpha, Juliet, Juliet, Delta, Foxtrot, Oscar, Romeo, Hotel,
This is
India.
the weirdest story I've ever read.
Lima, Delta, Alpha, Sierra, Golf, India, Foxtrot, Tango. Okay. Ask. H.
So far, so
S.
good.
A. J. A. D. R.
I'm getting there. Ta-da! JD for Hilda's gift. Ask Holt, Andy, and Jenna for Hilda's gift.
Okay. Oh, Hilda Swenson. Oh, I love her puzzle piece stationery. That's fun. Alright. Congratulations. I hope you enjoyed finding this thing, because you and I are just getting started. See, I've got a secret. Well, two actually. But I don't believe in just handing things to folks on a silver platter.
Send me something from the top of the lighthouse in Morse code?
Okay, that's no fun. Isn't the way life works either. To get anywhere in this world, you gotta get out there and be curious. You gotta ask questions and shake things up till you get answers. And I know you're curious, or you wouldn't be reading this. So what I want you to do now is send me something from the top of the lighthouse in Morse code. As for what I want you to send me, read the little story I've enclosed. That'll get you started. The story makes no sense, you say? Well, you got into this chest, didn't you? Anyway, eventually you'll find the answer to my first secret. As for my other secret, if you're smart, and I have a sneaking suspicion you are, you'll figure it out along the way.
Something is fishy in Snake Horse Harbor.
And I'm not just speaking for the halibut. Oh, and no funny stuff because I'm watching you. Hilda. Alright. Yeah, get messy, make mistakes. That's what the second chance button is for. Alright. So... see, this would be another one of the reasons why this game ranks so very high for me. Old lady who leaves secret messages that you have to decode to go on her little treasure hunt? Like, again, it just taps into so many of my specific special interests and favorite tropes and stuff. They could have tailored this to me personally. Ask Holt, Andy, and Jenna for Hilda's gift. I think I'll leave that until the next time. It's Mystery Monday, so we're going to be wrapping up fairly soon. Pip says, I feel like Mark would do this as an old man. Are you saying that he wouldn't do that now? Alright, have a good night, Boomer. Good to see ya. Okay, check back with Casey. Alright, that's the only other thing to do. Yep, Mark is kind of doing that already with the whole DM thing. Pip says he does for friends and family, but when he's old, it'll be upgraded to strangers. And you're sure he's not already doing this and you just haven't realized?
This is Casey Porterfield at the Maritime Library. Either I'm busy doing research, or I'm on a break, or there's a stained glass exhibit going on somewhere. But in any case, I can't come to the phone, and since the playback button stopped working on this thing about 2 years ago, you're just gonna have to call back.
Oh gosh. I need an outgoing message like that. That's fantastic. I never listen to my voicemail. Ever. Oh, nice. Chiller says, gotta love an old man who has a ridiculous voicemail. Oh, heck yeah. Do we think that the jelly is good? Let's find out if we die. Okay, we didn't die. Also, I think it's about time to wrap up. It'll let me click on the menu button. If it won't let me save, I'll be real sad. Okay, here we go. Save game. Okay, and save. Oh, all right, have a good night, Chiv. It's good to see ya. Haha. All right. Okay. See. I hate to leave when everybody's here and we're all hanging out and having a good time, but if I keep playing too long, we won't have any Nancy Drew left for next week. So, I think I'm gonna call it. I think this is a good spot for it because then we can go around getting all the bits of Hilda's puzzle for the next one. So, thank y'all so much for watching. I'm so glad you were able to spend this time with me and that I could be here to spend this time with you. We should be back 3 o'clock Eastern tomorrow with House Flipper. I'm so looking forward to it. And I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye, everybody.